Hi, here I am looking topless again, and I am wearing a dress, I promise. I am currently 25 weeks. I have been very bad about doing updates in the last almost month. And I have kind of enjoyed just not doing anything at all. But I wanted to do a update and get back into it so I could have another video of the next few weeks, just because I feel like I'm almost going into my third trimester here in a few weeks, so there's a lot of changes going on, and I feel like I have noticed a lot of changes or things that are new just within like the last week. So I wanted to do a update. I have literally within the last day or so had some Braxton Hicks, I think. Like, I have nothing to base it off of. I didn't have any that I noticed with my daughter. With my first pregnancy with my daughter, I felt nothing, so I never thought I had any. But this time around, I've just had a few moments where I have felt uncomfortable and my belly has felt a little bit more firm. What else could I attribute that to than Braxton Hicks? So I think that I've had a few of those in the last couple of days. I'm also kind of to that point in pregnancy where I can't this sounds so weird, but I don't feel like I can tell sometimes if I really need to pee or if it's just the pressure of the growing baby on my bladder. Like, sometimes I'll feel like I really need to pee and then I'm like, that wasn't that much pee. Another thing that I've been dealing with this pregnancy, really just within the last month, it's been going on, are leg cramps. I don't remember that with my first pregnancy, and I was reading about it, and it's a normal pregnancy side effect, but I will get just random, out of the blue, mainly in the mornings or at night, calf cramps, where my muscle just tightens up and I'll have to stretch it out. So that's not fun. I've been getting those. If you'll notice, there's different furniture behind me. We've been doing kind of a switcheroo of the furniture and bedrooms right now. We are moving my daughter Naomi, my 2-year-old, into one of the bigger of the guest rooms. And just keeping the nursery as a nursery because it's very small. It's a perfect size for a new baby. So we moved her into a big girl room, and so we had to paint it because it was just boring beige on the wall. So we painted it a really pretty light pink, got some dark navy curtains. We're going with the pink and navy theme. We just got her moved over. She spent the night in her new room last night, which went well. I can't believe I'm getting close to the third trimester. We're narrowing down baby names. I think there's one that we're pretty much set on, but as I have stated in past videos, I am just not gifted when it comes to making a decision on a child's name. I struggle a lot. The finality of it, is that a word? I don't know. It feels so final to say this is the name, and then it's well, I still have 8 weeks, 10 weeks to go. What if I hear another name that I like better? What if there's another name I haven't heard that is the name? I play a lot of what ifs, and my husband's very much we both like this name, let's call it a day. I am currently 26 weeks. Everything's going great. I went and did the gestational diabetes test where you drink the really sugary stuff, and I haven't heard back. She said no news is good news, and I passed with my first daughter, so I'm figuring I'll be fine this time, even though I have been eating a lot of ice cream this pregnancy. A lot. I also just want to say really quick, I've heard so many people that say that they hate that drink, that it's disgusting, that it makes them sick, that it makes them nauseous, and I don't know what's wrong with me, but it's not that I love it, it's just not bad. It doesn't taste bad to me. It tastes like sugary high C. They give me the fruit punch flavor. Now, I wouldn't have it with dinner, but I don't get what everyone is drinking that I'm not drinking. My appointment with my OB went really well. I really, really like her. She's a different OB than I had with my daughter. That doctor I had moved off to Boston right after I had her, so I had to get a different one, and from multiple people recommended this doctor, and I really like her. She is very relaxed. She is so personable. Her bedside manner is just great. Honestly, with my other doctor, I would just I don't know if nervous is the right word, but just kind of wondering how the appointment was gonna go. I feel like she was Jekyll and Hyde. One day she was just so sweet, and then the other day she was tell me everything you're eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the past 7 days. And I'm like, am I under interrogation? It was, And so I really don't have like a lot of stuff that I discuss with her, because she's just the type of doctor that if something's wrong, like she's gonna cover it. She's gonna ask the really important questions, and then everything else is just kind of like, how do you feel? You doing good? Drinking water? Baby looks good. You know, and I'm fine with that. I'm so fine with that. So really like the only thing I discussed with her at this appointment was the fact that I'm feeling, the baby feels so heavy and like hard. I don't know if I'm describing that perfectly or not, but the baby, sometimes I'll tell my husband, feels like it's just like in a ball, really heavy and hard and just like so stiff. But anyway, so I asked her kind of about that, and she was like, well, yes, we hear that a lot with second time and third time pregnancies. Everything's just kind of looser and stretched out, and so it's like the baby and everything is not like when I was young and everything was just like the ligaments and muscles were just holding that baby in there really tight. Everything is just kind of like now. So the baby and the weight of everything that's growing inside me right now is just like hanging. That's just, I love to hear my body described as loose and stretched out. That's all I can say. Sorry, I changed the lighting. The sun came out or something. Of course, I knew that with subsequent pregnancies, people just feel bigger. They feel heavier. She said I was right on track with my weight gain, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I have not been weighing myself. I canceled my gym membership because, one, COVID. I'm not taking my daughter there, and that's when I would go. Lord knows I'm not gonna put a mask on and get on the treadmill. I will die. So I just canceled my gym membership and figured I'll join again in January when I'm ready to work out again. I just feel kind of like guilty and kind of bad that I have been so much less active this pregnancy than my other one. I was very like hyper focused on staying fit and staying in shape and staying active, and it just honestly, y'all, is not fully my fault this time. 2020, other than giving birth to my second child, 2020 sucks. Moral of the story, I am not weighing myself, but she did say I'm right on track, so if it was concerning and I was gaining a lot, she would bring it up to me. That's really it. The only other update, I guess you could say, for this week or recently is I am very, very much feeling the nesting instinct, which I did not feel whatsoever with my first daughter. I am not an organized person. It's just my personality. I tend to procrastinate, and that's just how I am. So I kind of chalked it up last pregnancy to, that's just, I don't feel nesting. But this time around, I just feel like very like hyper. Like I want everything to be in its perfect place. I want it to be organized. I don't want to feel cluttered when the baby gets here. I want everything done. That's very different for me. So I know that is pregnancy related, because that is not my typical. I've like gone through my closet, I've gone through my dresser. I'm like, it's like spring cleaning in the middle of July. We've gotten some of my daughter's old like 0 to 3, 3 to 6 month clothes out of the garage, and I've been going through those, tossing some of the stuff that is like stained beyond repair, just kind of starting those loads of laundry, and then I can like start putting them in their proper place in the baby's dresser and all that. So I'm really excited to start decorating the nursery, and I will kind of show you guys that process, or at least do like a final nursery tour or something. I'll show you guys a belly shot. She's in there. Good morning. Today is Thursday, the 23rd. I got a call on Monday that said, hey, you didn't pass your 1 hour glucose test and you got to come back and do the 3 hour. So that's what I am headed to do. I was pretty shocked. I don't feel like I've really done anything different than my first pregnancy, and I've never had to deal with this. Didn't know anything about this life. I don't know. I mean, maybe just second pregnancy, you got to do something fun and different, you know? I don't know. I think I'm fine, but then, you know, your mind definitely immediately also goes to, I have gestational diabetes. Like, immediately. But, you know, like, my weight is on track. I don't have any, like, symptoms of that. I don't have any of the risk factors for it. So, I am on the way to do the 3 hour. I've been fasting for almost 12 hours now. and I get to go drink a sugary drink that is twice as sugary as the 1 hour drink, and then not eat and get poked every 3 hours. So I dropped my daughter off with my mom because I have to stay here. Apparently I thought you could leave, but I talked to people who'd done it before, and I like Googled it. I was like researching this, but yeah, no, you pretty much have to stay, and they draw your blood every hour. So I think I get poked a total of 4 times. We'll see. But I have my AirPods, I have a book, I have stuff to entertain me. I am just hoping that I don't get nauseous. The 1 hour has never bothered me in that way, and it does some people. So maybe I'll get lucky and the 3 hour doesn't bother me in that way either. But from everything that I've read, it is quite common to get nauseous on the 3 hours. So we'll just see. We will see. Okay, so I look kind of haggard, but I got up early and got here right when the lab opened, since I wouldn't be eating for 3 hours, so didn't put too much effort into my look today. I have completed 2 of the 3 hours. It's freezing in there, so I put a sweater on. It hasn't been that bad. The time that it takes and the pokes are just the most annoying part. I did get a little nauseous after I initially finished the drink. Probably about for 30-40 minutes after. I felt a little nauseous, but nothing that wasn't, you know, anything anyone can handle. And I'm sure that's just the amount of sugar that you drink on an empty stomach. It is definitely more sugary than the 1 hour one. It's more syrupy. It's like almost like thicker. I don't know. It's doable. It's not the worst thing in the world. I have 1 more hour to go. They let me leave. They say you can leave and come back. They said you can have sips of water. I'm ready to not get poked anymore. She's using like a tiny little butterfly needle, which is like not a big deal, whatever. I'm usually like, IV sticks really don't bug me. Like, there are worse things in the world. Suck it up is how I feel, but that's maybe just coming from a nurse perspective. But since it's like 4 times total that you have to get poked, like I'm pretty sure this 3rd time was a repeat spot almost. So that didn't feel great. I'm ready to eat something, and I'm ready to pass this. I did look at my results. They popped up a few days later, and I was only 9 points away from passing the first time. And even what my blood sugar was, it wasn't even that high to me. But I had a few bites of like scrambled eggs that morning, and I don't know if that skewed it enough. It's shocking to me that it did, because I know people that have like meals before. I don't know. 1 more hour, 1 more poke, and then I'm out of here. Okay, so I am fully done with the test, and I picked up Naomi right there. And we are headed home. We got lunch, and we are headed home with that. I did bring a granola bar with me to have a few bites afterwards. And I just now started breaking it out, like 12:15 right now. So it's been a long time since I've eaten. But I just like broke it open and started eating, even though I have lunch like right there, because I really started feeling almost shaky. And so I don't know if my body's like, you need to freaking eat something. And then with the sugar, I don't know, it's just thrown me off. But I am feeling a little kind of like jittery and shaky. So, what'd you say? Anyway, so that's one extra kind of symptom that I'm having, and I'm just gonna make it home and eat something, put her down for a nap, and then I feel like I will have recovered. I am 28 weeks, and I wanted to share the good news with you guys that I passed my 3-hour glucose test. Thank you. I did look at the numbers that were posted, and I don't want to say I passed with like flying colors or anything, but I pretty much did. All is good. I don't have the diabetes. I am officially in the 3rd trimester. It's kind of crazy that it's all coming together. We're in the home stretch and everything's feeling real. I am starting to feel her like up in my rib area, which I remember this with Naomi, and I'm sure it was probably around this time, but some of that like shortness of breath and breathlessness is coming back. I had that in the first trimester just with like my hormones out of whack, but now it's just because my lungs are getting squished. Freaking mosquitoes. If you can hear that large frog or whatever that is making Jurassic type of noises, I'm sorry, but it just was nice outside and I wanted to film outside for change of scenery and the lighting. Something that I just wanted to cover really quick that I feel like is starting to boil up in me is just the emotions surrounding Naomi not being my only child anymore. And I really hadn't thought about it. I hadn't dwelled on it or really thought about it at all until this point, and I'm sure that's just because I'm in my 3rd trimester now. Things are getting real and it's coming fast. So I've just been thinking about it a lot more. My pregnancy hormones are raging, obviously, which doesn't help, but lately when I've like held Naomi, if I go in after she wakes up for her nap, or whenever I'm just like holding her and rocking her, I have had so many instances of just getting teary-eyed and just crying while rocking her, because I just have these really bittersweet moments and thoughts of this is not going to, it's just kind of not, it's not going to be a thing much longer with her being my only child and just kind of like my sole focus. Obviously, logically, I know this is such a normal transition and thoughts and emotions to be going through for any mom that's about to have her 2nd child, because I've heard my mom talk about it, I've heard my sister talk about it, and my best friend recently that they just had their 2nd, and so it's just really bittersweet to think about. And the thing that gets me so teary-eyed is it's just the fact that it's the end of like this little era that Nate and I have had of like our only child, and it's never going to be like this again. And I'm sure I'll miss these days, and of course, like, I'm just so excited to give her a sister. I'm so excited to have another child and become a mother again. Like, even though it's my 2nd time, I really just kind of feel like every pregnancy and every birth and every time you go through it, it just feels like a little bit of the first time again, like you're just kind of like becoming a mother again. Oh, there's freaking mosquitoes. And I'm so excited for all of that, but at the same time, I never want her to feel like she is any less special, any less unique and just so important to me, because no matter if Nate and I only have 2 kids, if we have a 3rd, no matter how many kids we have, none of my children will be able to say that they made me a mom other than Naomi. I just hope I'm able to just kind of like show her and communicate to her like how special and important she still is, like in the hustle and bustle. I don't know if that's a term. Yeah, hustle and bustle. In all of the shenanigans that bringing a new kid into the family brings, I just want, I want to do a good job at like making sure she knows that she's not any less important. And like, I feel like all these like really deep thoughts that I'm having, I know that they're like very adult and grown woman thoughts and emotions, and in her little tiny toddler self, this is a little advanced. I don't know, I'm just like thinking that I need to have a few things in place to make her feel special. That's just kind of what's on my heart lately, and like I said, the pregnancy hormones are surging. That doesn't help, and I don't think they don't go away anytime soon, because I read somewhere that your postpartum hormones, even after having a baby, your hormones don't fully level back to normal, like pre-pregnancy normal, for like 9 months to a year. So that's great. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of document my feelings and emotions, and I'm just having all these bittersweet and sad thoughts. That's the whole point of doing these videos. 1, because it's fun, and 2, I love that I can document my symptoms, my feelings, my emotions, everything that I'm going through during this pregnancy, and then I get to look back at it or maybe help someone else who is crying while they're rocking their kid every other day. So yeah, that's it. And moral of the story, I don't have diabetes. So thanks for listening to me just ramble on for a little bit. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.